Well, you know, it's not very often that we get the treat of looking at something from the Transformers animated line here on the channel, so I am absolutely tickled today to bring to you not one, but two bots by way of Ratchet and Ratchet. The Cybertronian Ratchet and the Earth Mode Ratchet. Both of these guys, a 2-for-1 review in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton to let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all my social media links. All of that is in the description down below. Also in the description down below, if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. And this is a 2-for-1 review. Both of these guys from the animated line. Both of these guys were deluxe. I mean, I thought they were Voyager. Based on what we get now, like when I held these guys in my hands, I was like, hey, Voyager, and then I looked it up and it was deluxe, robust, hefty. I can tell you that right off the bat. But of course, articulation, transformation, and kind of accuracy to the look of the boy based on his animation. All of that is going to come into play with a couple of surprises of how I thought things were going to go. Not exactly going the way that they went. You'll see what I mean when we head over to the table and take a closer look at both of these guys. And we have a huge treat today by way of two reviews of Animated Ratchet, the Cybertron version and the Earth Mode version of the guy. I think both of them are deluxe. I'll kind of verify that as we go through with each one. You'll notice one we have here in robot mode, one we have here currently in alt mode, because in package they came into two different modes. We'll see both vehicle modes a little bit later on. We'll see both robot modes later on as well. But we're going to do one at a time and kind of see which one is better. I want to give a huge shout out to Micheal Desrosiers. He's the one who hooked us up here. And while I could have done this as two separate reviews, I thought we'd have a bit of fun, you know? I thought we'd have a little bit of fun and see what would happen when we actually compared these two next to each other right here at the same time. Not often do we get a chance to look at something from animated, but it's usually a treat when we do. So, we're going to actually begin with the one set of instructions I have. I don't have instructions for both of these guys. Just one. And it's for our Cybertronian mode lad. I liked it down here. It tells us that they're shock paddle blaster things, and that the instructions for going from vehicle back to robot is just reverse steps. I think that's great. It's simple. And it was quite recently that I actually spoke to Micheal Desrosiers and a few other people. I think I even brought it up on GotBot Goes Live, that the War for Cybertron really sort of followed the pattern of Cybertronian mode and Earth mode that they did in animated. I think that this guy may have been a Toys R Us exclusive back in the day. I could be wrong about that, but I believe he was. Again, some of this is sort of guesswork, kind of looking back now all these years later. The, I guess the paddle accessories are back here. If you want to store them, there's like the little fin back right there, and there's a little notch up in the top of this that fits on over the fin. But if you want him to actually wield these, then there is a peg. I believe it's a peg. Oh, no, you know what it is? Well, it is a peg, but it's like a dual peg on the top and bottom of his hand that you need to sort of wedge around there, right? So like he holds it fine, and it is easy to get off again if you want to like wedge it off. And I'm making the guy fall down as I do that. So we have that. I'm actually going to take both of those off for now. You can do the transformation and whatnot with them on there, but I'm going to take them off for now. So what about look for the guy? It's not too bad, actually. The tummy might stick out a little further than it should. The blue window should by rights be black, but I'll accept it as blue. The toes down here that are black, those toes should be white, but the Arms, they should be, you know, red and white as they are. The hands, while the red should probably come down over the palm and only the fingers be white, the entire hand is white. It's fine. The layout is certainly correct. The shoulder pieces on the side, they have the black in them. I think that's pretty accurate. Even the red behind his head is pretty accurate. It's not bad. It's really, really, really not bad at all. I'm going to say that it's... You know, I mean, like, arguably his pelvis and his very upper thighs should be red. Like, just a couple of minor things because of the molding, but the color layout is correct. I'm going to say it's a solid 9.25, 9.5 maybe. I'm going to say 9.5. It's a really good Cybertronian Ratchet. What about the articulation? We have a head that can go left and right. It can kind of look back here, but it sort of goes back in his body for transformation. Can't really look down. The arms, they can go all the way around, out to the side. We have a bicep swivel. We have a double elbow, which is brilliant. We have a gimmick here. If you push it, and it kind of pushes this forearm out. It's only on one arm as best as I can tell, but he still has a rotating wrist, which is great. Does the guy have a waist? No waist. That's a slight bummer, I guess. Hips out to the side. That bar, his knee can do that if you wanted to. It's for transformation, but it can do it. Swivel. We have 90 degree at the knee, but there's like a soft ratchet there, and it's like it either has to be in this position, put that down, this position, or that, or then you have to lock it all the way down. It's a bit strange. Toes can tilt forward. I guess because of this, you don't have an ankle tilt, but you have this, so like, it looks weird, but like I guess you could... I don't do that and get a weird action pose thing if you're so inclined. Waist would be nice. Outside of that, the guy is solid. He stands well. I'm going to say that the articulation is a solid 8.5. Right now, the guy's getting a 9. Okay, so let's get into the transformation. These pieces come down on the side, and these pieces come down on the side. Then we... I think put the... I'm trying to remember this. Oh, we have to un-tab, I guess, the side. By the way, I like the way that the tabbing is done here. There's a whole mechanism that goes in here. It's not just a little tab. It's a whole shoulder mechanism that goes in here that's pinned. Then we can, I think, put this down? No, we still can't put his head down. I thought we could put his head down. Yet, guess I'm wrong. That piece can come out. I feel like the head should be able to go down now, though. There we go. The head can go down. I'm sorry. The head can go down. And all of that can come out. Okay, so then these shoulders, this is so strange. This whole shoulder mechanism is going to rotate down and under, but we have to sort of rotate the shoulder with it, if that makes sense. So that will all come down and under, and I'm rotating around the shoulder ball joint the whole time and bringing that up. And then this has a peg hole back here that should go over a peg right there. Just like that. Then we do the same on the other side. We have to bring this down. And of course I'm having a nuisance of a time with it here because, you know, why not? There. Golly. And line all of that up and peg all of that in as well. There. Woo! Okay. Now we've got all of that done. Then we should be able to come here to the front and extend that out. And then this whole piece should now be able to flip up like that. Okay, pardon the little cut mid-transformation. I got interrupted for a few minutes, and honestly, the lower legs were kind of eating me up anyway. I think this is where we left off with these pieces out. I'm going to push that in, and we can kind of angle those up for now. The lower legs here are kind of brilliant, but at the same time kind of a nuisance, because what you're looking to really do is bring the leg out and rotate it kind of like this, so that it comes up on itself. We got to flip in this piece. When we do this, there is a, we have to kind of really bring it up like this. There is a hole right here on the leg, and that hole goes over that post right there. Or it should go over that post right there. There, like that. So we fold in now this leg, and again we bring it up. This one likes to pop off the ball joint. We rotate it around, and then we rotate the lower leg around and bring it up. You know you have the lower leg oriented the right way when the peg hole is on the inside, and then of course we just angle it up till it lines up right there. Like that. Just get those ready, and boom, in the end, here we have Ratchet in his Cybertronian mode. And I'm going to show him, by the way, good transformation, I'll talk about that in just a moment. I'm going to show him, of course, next to his Earth counterpart, I suppose we'll say. And here we have them in those modes. So, like, at this point, we have had a pretty darn good score for this guy. I'm saying that the look for the guy, it's about a 9.5. It's pretty darn close. The articulation is a solid, say, 8.5. The guy is getting, say, a 9. The transformation, honestly, it's a solid 9. There's enough like interesting moving parts here that it's kind of cool to do, but not overly hard, and doesn't take you too long. And he rolls great. I mean, it's weird looking, there's no doubt, but he does roll great. As for his two thingies, you can take them back here and slide that one down over, and take this and slide it, oh, put it on the wrong way. There's only one way that they go on, by the way. That one on over, and then this one on over, I think. Maybe I did have it the right way. And we're just messing it up. I think I did have it the right way, my bad. Gotta go this way with it. There. And you have both of them now on the back. Rolls great, obviously. Very different modes. This is kind of something I like to see in terms of Cybertronian and Earth. Very different. This is extremely different than this. Hard to call this thing an ambulance, if you will. I assume the Ironhide works the exact same way, so pretty cool. So far, this one, overall score, solid 9. Really solid 9. So what about the Earth mode one? So what about the Earth one? Well, the Earth one, it also rolls tremendously well. It is a pretty convincing looking ambulance, and what I do like is, though we have translucent blue plastic here on the front for the windshield, we have blue windows on the side. At least the paint on the side matches the translucent, like it's all blue. So I kind of dig that. It's not like this was blue and then this was painted black or just left blank. So I dig that. So here's a bit of a closer look at the ambulance mode. Underneath, very clean. I mean, it's robot legs, but very clean underneath. The back is fine. This side's fine. Like, I think that this is a pretty successful ambulance mode. He comes with a bunch of accessories. Unfortunately, like this axe thing, and I don't know, whatever this thing is that looks like a little shovel. I'm sure that there's names on all of this. This looks like a wrench. They all seem to have like C-clips. None of them apparently can go stored in this mode, but apparently they can all go stored in robot mode. Go figure. So I'm not going to do the scores now. We're going to do the transformation, and then we'll talk about the score. So I'm just going to back things up a little bit to give us some space to work here as we do the transformation. Now this one is going to be a little bit more challenging than the other one because I never had any instructions for this guy. So we're going to sort of try and figure it out as we go here a little bit. I like to unclip the back section here and bring it up first. I also like how this opens up. I don't know. I dig it. I like it. Then we can come back to these arms here and extend out and extend out. This piece under the arm, I'm going to leave that down there for now. We can also now bring up the legs and split them. And we can, hopefully, flip out a foot. Doesn't want to flip out, but neither did that one. They did not want to flip out. We bring those up for now. Now the guy's getting big, see? And going off screen. I'm going to, I guess, try and show what I can here, and then we'll sort of adjust things a little bit. We flip up and flip up these sections here on the side, and then you should be able to kind of swing the arms out. I do find that that's tight to do, we'll say. You don't, really what you're doing is sort of like, yeah, you lift off the fender and you sort of lift them out. There's a black hinge in here, really tight on this on a particular copy from Maximal 10, but we got one out. Over on this side, we'll I'll try to do it again. And you sort of have to bring this shoulder section out. Whew! Okay, now I need to back things up because things are really kind of, I guess, getting big. Now it's almost done, so when I back things up, it should be pretty easy. When we bring this down, there's a little nub on this black tip that goes into a little slot in here, and that should make the head pop up. There you go. And we should be able to take the bumper and bring that down for his tummy. Now I do have to straighten up a few things. I'm going to stand him up, I readjust the camera, and then we'll just kind of finish straightening up his arms here a little bit. Okay, so next, now that we have him up like this, we can take the shoulders there and bring them down, and this shoulder over here, we can turn at the elbow, and it's already down, and readjust that head a little bit, but just those. And the hands here ever so slightly to make them more hands-like. And boom, in the end, here we have Earth Mode Ratchet in his robot mode. And this looks pretty darn accurate to the animation, if I do say so myself. Let's talk about scores for the guy here a little bit in terms of the way he looks. So, I'm going to say that this is about an 8.5 or so, 8.75 maybe. Starting from the feet, working our way up. The feet here are all white. Arguably, there should be some black detailing around there, maybe. But the red is the way it should be. These tires shouldn't be out, but like it's small price to pay. Thighs are right. The hips and pelvis are right. The arms are basically right. There's yellow detailing on the outside of the arm. I think it's on the outside of the arm, like out here where there's supposed to be some I guess circuitry detail. We don't quite have that. The Autobot symbol is there. Maybe it's even higher. These seem a bit too big on the side of his arm. Like they seem to angle up a little bit too much. Like they are more squared off on the animation model. Maybe I said 8 or 8.5. Maybe it is more like a 9. Like he's pretty darn close, honestly. In terms of articulation for the guy, the head goes left and right, up and wiggles more up and down than anything else. The arms here are on a soft ratchet and can go all the way around out to the side, but he hits himself kind of in the head there, so you'd have to sort of angle it up a little bit more. We do have a bicep swivel. We do have fingers. They're all one piece, but they are articulated, so is the thumb. Elbow to 90 degrees. There's this spring-loaded thing in his hand that's supposed to be like a magnet or something. Cool, I guess, if you want that. He does have a backpack, but it's pretty unobtrusive. The legs can go... Ooh, that leg likes to come out for some reason. The leg can't... This leg here really likes to pop out. And I think it's just Maximal 10's copy. Like, I don't think it's a... I don't know, like the legs can go forward, but on his copy they don't feel good going forward. out to the side, little under 90 degrees at the knee, weird outward movement like that on the knee, toes forward and back, still no waist. I'm not sure why the hips, I don't know if the hips are actually this limited. Kind of disappointed with the articulation for the guy at this point. Give me a second. I'm gonna try and see if it's just they're like seized up or if the hips are actually that limited. Alright, so I fiddled with the hips a bit more. There is a little bit more movement there, but the hips are really tight, and the mushroom peg that holds the thigh up into the hip likes to pop out really easily. Too easily, especially on this leg over here. There are 4, I'll call it nodes, in his backpack that all of these can attach the C-clips onto. In his hands, because of the spring-loaded gimmick behind his hand, which you can like kind of pop it out, or if you bend the arm forward, eventually it like pops out by itself anyway. If that's back, there is, I'll call it a clip in there that you could put the C-clip over as well to hold other items in his hands. And if you had Lockdown's EMP thing, it's able to attach to his arm. So that's kind of cool. The transformation here, really good. I did find a couple of slight fiddly bits with it compared to the Cybertronian mode. If the Cybertronian mode overall is a 9, because of like a, you know, a 9.5 for the look and an 8.5 for like the transformation and like a 9 for the articulation or whatever it was I said. If this guy over here is like a 9, then this guy over here is like an 8.5, 8.75. I like the Cybertronian mode a little bit better. I find it a little bit smoother, and I do find the articulation better on the Cybertronian mode. Is either of them bad? No. Both of these are great, and I'm sure that the leg popping out is just a tolerance thing that happened to be a QC issue on Maximal 10's copy of the mold. It doesn't just fall out or anything, it's just when you try to move that leg forward, the leg wants to give way before the hip wants to move with it, if that makes any sense. I think they're both great, but I think the Cybertronian lad wins out just a little bit. And here we are once again, and here they are, and I like both of them, but I like the Cybertronian lad more. He functions excellent in robot mode. He rolls nicely in the weird vehicle mode. The transformation is easy, but involved and interesting. Not much here. I guess the head going back is a slight nuisance, but not much here not to like. I also like this. However, that being said, I do find that pushing the front of the hood down a little bit scary. I do wish that the shoulder pieces weren't as high as they are. I do wish the shoulders felt a little, I don't know, lighter. Like I'm almost afraid to move them certain ways on this particular copy because they're so tight. And then we get to the hips. The thigh, like mushroom pieces that peg up on at least one of these legs does not like to stay pegged up. And that's a problem, because when you go to manipulate the hip for poses, the leg pops out. I don't think it's widespread. I'm sure it's just this particular copy. He looks great, and the leg's not going to fall out or nothing like that. It's just, if you're going to move the leg, you really got to move it from the hip. I like this guy just a little bit more, but I like the alt mode of this guy just a little bit more. Guess I'm an earth mode, alt mode guy. What can I say? This very much reminds me, though, of what we have seen in the War for Cybertron line with a Cybertronian mode and an Earth mode. I guess it's a case of, you know, an idea from the past was able to find some new life. Whether you like it or not is a different story, but I think that it's cool that we had both versions of this Ratchet. I just particularly like this one better. Let me know which version of Ratchet from the animated line you prefer. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. Don't forget, man, that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you right there, you do make a difference. You can also hit the subscribe button while you're at it. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.